Good morning, folks, and welcome to Swing Trading Today. This is Bob Desmond, and it is 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, March the 3rd. So I'm literally just laying my eyes on the screen. I got started late this morning, and we're seeing the NASDAQ futures just simply skyrocket up 1.25%. So I'm just absorbing this at current. Because the question that automatically jumps into my head is the sustainability of this rocket ship higher. I have my developer IMing me. Okay, sorry about that. So it looks as though we're going to head up here before all is said and done. And that's at 90.72. So more room to go to the upside. Let's come back. I'm going to wait for some people to filter in here. Go to some headlines. There's not much out there. I took a moment earlier to scroll through. I'm loving this. Hillary Clinton ordered to give sworn deposition after judge tosses preposterous defense. It's about time. Merkel. You have to love this stuff. Angela Merkel's interior minister refuses to shake her own hand over COVID virus fears. Big problem for BMW. One of their employees found to have the illness. Sorry to hear that. Macau gaming revenue collapses 87.8%. We're going to take a look at Las Vegas Sands on this news today. I know they were taking a hit. They do have a presence over in Macau. I'm not seeing any company names mentioned here. We'll check out LVS. Just making a note to myself so I don't forget. Okay. What else do we have? All right. More locusts. I don't know what this is. I'll tell you, this is very, very biblical what's going on right now. You've had locusts in Africa, now coming to China. Plague. Interesting. PMIs. Whoa. This is China's PMI data. Purchasing Managers Index. These are the guys that buy the desks. So you have manufacturing in red, non-manufacturing in blue, with manufacturing cratering even further than the services. I don't see how they're not in recession. Any number above 50 is a sign of expansion. Any number below 50 is a sign of contraction. And manufacturing is at 29.6 with services at 35.7. China remains closed. Daily coal consumption by major electricity producers remain below normal. So in red is 2020. Prior years are in the different colors: blue, gray, darker blue, black. So this is the impact on industry shutting down. And this is with a 2-day lag. Traffic congestion, but after Chinese New Year remains well below the same period in prior years. We've seen this chart before. Different format, but you get the picture. 2020 in red, prior years in the different colors above. Amazing. I don't want to beat a dead horse here. I think that we're getting the picture that China remains closed. Rebar. For those not familiar, rebar is used in construction. It's that steel tubing within the concrete block. And you can see here that it was hooking up in 2017. Where is 2019? 2019 it was hooking up, and in 2020 just an absolute and utter nosedive. Stunning. Really, really stunning. Interesting stuff. All right, let's get to the pre-market activity. All right, the NASDAQ again, we're still up 100 points, backing off slightly. The S&P 500 rallying right up and into resistance. I don't see how we don't pull back at some point in time. An argument can be made that we have seen a higher low here. We did rally through this resistance level, pull back and do a retest. Maybe we are just going to break up and through. Last week was just such an ugly week. We have an inverted head and shoulders setup. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. These are 4-hour charts, folks. If I didn't say that already, my apologies. 4-hour charts. So this is really just an indication of where we may be opening today, not an indication of where we're going to close. Far from it. All right, before I forget, for members, I'm going to, after this broadcast, I'm going to be doing a test of our alert system, and you should be getting a text, the long-awaited text. So if you could please let me know if you get that, if you could reply back via email, or I don't think I can get a text back. But if you could just let me know by email if you got it or not, that'd be wonderful. Thank you. I want to take a look at bonds. We shorted bonds yesterday. On this topping action, and then late in the day, we broke support. So it's a really good trade. I know a couple of members already booked profits. I think we have a little bit more room to the downside. And what we're looking at, I wouldn't chase this down right now, folks. The easy money's been made here. What we were looking at was the lower high on RSI, and then, as a matter of fact, I'll show you better on the TLT. This is really what influenced. Lower highs on the TLT, which is now making a new daily low at current, and then the beginning of a break below the lower band of support. And we open up a short position using the TBT, and the TBT is working out well for us. So congrats to members that already joined in. And again, this is not a trade we're going to look to stay long in, but I do think there's more downside to go in the bond market. Looking at the dollar, up this morning, finally catching a bid. This to me looks like a bear flag setup, an oversold bounce. You have the market waiting for more heroin. So I think the dollar ultimately goes lower here as the Fed dilutes it. Bitcoin, consolidating, down about 1%. I wouldn't buy it here. Not yet anyway. We could be setting up a head and shoulders setup. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. I don't like it. Not until we break out above this upper band of resistance. This now goes to red. That must hold the support. Taking a look at gold. Gold has been consolidating. We are putting in higher lows. Sorry about all the lines, but it just helps me identify support and resistance levels. And we are just trading sideways here. We remain long of the gold miners. I don't want to add just yet. I want to make sure that this rally off of the lows in gold is for real. Here's your higher low. It looks very healthy. We have a breakout on RSI. We need to see RSI hook up. And I wouldn't get excited about gold until we closed above 16.25 to 16.30 the ounce. So it's only in a nascent stage of recovery right now. A lot of damage last week. And it just goes to show you, when margin calls go out, there are no safe havens. What can be sold will be sold. Copper. On Sunday night, we were looking at copper, and I said, I think this thing's going to break out. And it broke out. So these are commodity traders betting that what the Federal Reserve is about to do, in essence, take out a bazooka, is going to, although it's never worked before, is going to stimulate the global economy. And yes, they're the global bank of the world, the Federal Reserve. They're betting that this is going to spark construction. And that's why you've seen copper prices move up higher. Oil. Oil had a really good day yesterday, along with the energy sector. Again, this is all on the hope of more Fed easing. And they haven't even allowed the prior rate cuts to work their ways through the system. I don't know what good, with the exception of a headline, what good these rate cuts are going to do. They certainly haven't helped negative yields. They certainly haven't helped Europe. Japan, but it's going to be different for the United States. Go figure. Silver, lethargic. In a wedge formation. I wouldn't be a buyer of silver until we get above 17.25 spot ounce. And I guess we'll leave off here. We'll take a look at how our NUGT is doing. Pre-market, not much going on here. Up about 40 cents. We're not going to be looking to add to NUGT until we get at least above $30 per share. We're going to switch this up a little bit here. These color codes influence our stop points. We'll get rid of that. Well, we'll keep that. Well, no, we won't. We'll change this to red. All right. I don't want to bore everybody here. Quiet group today. All right, let's take a look at Las Vegas Sands, and we'll leave off there. I just went over just to refresh for the benefit of people that are just joining in now. You had a headline come out earlier regarding Macau gaming. Its revenue collapsed 87.8%. Now, out of the ashes rises the phoenix. So when I see that, I see opportunity. And it's time to go shopping. Not a lot of damage has been done here. It's holding, this is LVS monthly basis. It's holding support. In fact, it broke out in December. It's pulling back now and retesting. Very, very strong chart. I think I'll wait and see if there's a reaction or if there are any analyst downgrades. But and how the stock reacts. If the stock doesn't react on an analyst downgrade, that's a tell. No doubt about it, that's a tell. And you need to be a buyer of those shares. So I want to know, I want to set alerts here. Okay, so here's where things get a little bit tricky. All right, so this is what I was looking for. So I was looking for weakness. We found the weakness. It's on the weekly chart. I just want to do a quick overlay of the monthly chart. Okay, now I get it. So it looks like we have a hanging man formation here, similar to back here, but when you overlay the monthly view, you can appreciate we had support back here on a monthly basis. Dashed line is the monthly support level, and here's another monthly support level. I want to. Oh, I just removed it. Oh, actually, I think that's a lag. Something on TrendSpider. There's a lag with the alerts. I think I know how to fix it though. Yep, that did it. All right. We'll keep this active for a while. And there we go. Set it and forget it. Daily chart. Let's overlay the you can see how we broke support, but here is monthly support immediately below. I like the support level at around 54.24. Where did we close out yesterday? 58.26. So I think we still have some room to the downside here. And then we will step in on LVS. Very nice. Very nice setup. Let's bring up Roku. And then we'll do space. I know that Pat, who's probably not joining us yet, he'll be looking at that later on. All right. This is Viking Therapeutics. Wrong chart. We'll stick with this for a moment. Avoid. Broke support. This is a weekly chart. It broke support last week. It's attempting to recapture at current. I would avoid these shares. Roku. All right, Roku broke support a few weeks ago. I don't like it. I think it's going lower. Good company. Poor chart. Yeah. Here's your double top on Roku. Break of support. If we had managed to recapture, what is this? Say 120 per share, then it would be game on to the long side. But right now, it's struggling. It's struggling mightily. Intraday chart, 2-hour basis, struggling back here. But again, I would wait for that 120 mark. Leaving off with SPCE. We'll go with a weekly chart. The monthly chart doesn't have enough data. Neither does a weekly chart, really. A lot of indecision here. I mean, it's a very powerful chart. A lot of indecision on a weekly basis. Daily chart. We're in the middle of no man's land. You know, if you wanted to argue that we broke out a bit, sure, okay, I'll buy that. Only if you're going to use a tight stop. Right here. 25.69, the breakout point. We take out yesterday's lows, you stop out, I'll be okay with opening up a trade. Here's your upper band of resistance at around 30.72. That's a good price target. We may just hit that. A lot of hype around this stock right now, especially with Richard Branson involved. Let's take a look, and we'll leave off with, two charts I want to go over. One is Baba, the other is Costco. Alibaba looking pretty good here on a daily basis. It recaptured support on the 28th. Retest yesterday. Alibaba's looking pretty good. For stock, which should be a lot lower, in my opinion, I expected this stock to be a lot lower. And it is holding up very, very well. Maybe the analysts haven't taken down their numbers yet. Here's a weekly view. We're still putting in lower highs. So I don't think it's all safe to go back in the water yet. But I'm impressed with the fact that it's holding up as well as it has been. If you're looking for a stop point, I would be looking to stop out right here at around 198.50. A break below that mark would have me out of the shares. And that's all I would be concerning myself with right now. Where do I stop out? Let the upside take care of itself. Worry about your downside. And we'll leave off with Costco. Huge move. This is probably going up higher as people continue to panic. An inside week thus far, consistent with the rest of the market. We do have some overhead supply here. I would be concerned if we close the week down below, let's say 305 per share. So I would wait until very close to the close on Friday before pulling the trigger on Costco. I want to make sure that we close above, at current, what should be support. Sorry about that, support. Let's take a look at an intraday chart. Let's go over 4 hour. Looking good. Looks like we have more upside potential here on Costco. And with that, folks, I want to say everybody have a very, very profitable trading day. And I will talk to you soon. Members expect a test later on this morning of the new SMS platform, the text platform. And be well.